A very good day to you all. Today I'm here to talk about discipline and how crucial and important discipline is for a school child. We all know what discipline means or what it refers to. It's some sort of a correction method when someone is misbehaving, acting out, or simply breaking the law. Simply put, it's how you get someone to obey the rules. When it comes to disciplining a child, we need to understand the gravity of why we should discipline our children. Is there a need for it? Should children be taught discipline? Should they be taught the repercussions of having no discipline or less discipline? And what will benefit them if they do have discipline in their lives? Just as any other topic, especially a topic as controversial as this, people have different opinions, different conclusions. For now, let's keep the topic of school discipline aside and talk about discipline in general when it comes to children. As parents, we have a soft spot for our children. I am just the same. With 3 children aged 7, 9 and 14, my children are the reason that I do what I do on a daily basis. But I am in the category of parents who believe that discipline is very important for a child. My husband and I are both very much interested and invested in ensuring discipline at home. Now, this does not mean that my children walk in a straight line or talk in soft voices or be perfect little angels all the time. Nor does it mean that we shout and scream and hit them when they become a bit naughty or unruly. It just means that we try to teach them what is right from wrong, and that we teach them that punishments do exist if they knowingly do something wrong. From experience, I do know that there is another set of parents who are a bit extreme when it comes to the discipline of children. For me, they seem extreme because at the end of the day, none of us really have a handbook on parenting. We are making it up as we go along. So what may seem extreme to me may be quite normal for them based on their own family backgrounds. There is also another set of parents who think that discipline is not needed, not even a little bit. They allow children to be free and not be accountable for how they speak or act. As a school where we deal with a large number of students, such children in the last category disrupts the normality of school. As parents, we need to understand that when we have a child, that this child will someday need to move around with others. In the earliest years, they will be under our protection. They will receive our love, even our blessing to be themselves. But let's imagine a child who is not taught right from wrong, who is not taught the value of good words, the value of not hurting feelings, the value of not sharing things, and so on. What happens to them when they attend a school with others? If we want the best for our children, the following basic principle must be understood. We cannot simply mold a child. If we want the best for our children, the following basic principle must be understood. That when we have a child, that we cannot always keep this child under our shade, away from others. That is not a practical way of thinking. So, this child will attend school, mix with other students, grow up, become a young adult, move with the society more and more as they reach adulthood. I'll put it in a way that everyone understands. If you don't want your child to be disciplined by others, discipline them yourselves. So start right now. So why is discipline so important for a child apart from the one I already mentioned? In my opinion, with the experience I received from the number of years as a teacher and an administrator, a child who is disciplined is someone with the necessary focus, someone who has enough motivation, perseverance to further their education. There is nothing disrupting them from their ultimate target. As we continue to discipline children from a young age, these children will learn to discipline themselves. Even if you're not disciplining them from a young age, if you have not disciplined your children up to now, and if they're at a certain age now, it is not late to even start now. So keep in mind that it is important to not only discipline them, but also to teach them why and where they went wrong. Let's say for an example, one of your children speaks harshly to someone else at home. They must be taught that it is wrong, that other people have feelings too, that others have emotions just like us. That's what we do, that others have emotions just like us. That what we do, what we say, and how we react can really reflect badly on someone else. So what should they do next? They must learn to be regretful, apologetic, shameful. These are all valuable emotions that a child should know and understand. A child who is taught right from wrong will not continue to do wrong things. But if they do, the punishments needs to increase. These punishments that I talk about should be age appropriate. The best way to punish a young child is to take back or hold back something they enjoy. Scolding and hitting is not needed at all. Even if your child is a bit older, maybe around in the teenage years, if you take away something that they like, they will understand that, I got this punishment because I did this wrong thing. That is the message that you need to get across, that there are consequences, there are repercussions for being and for doing wrong things. Once a child learns about discipline, they in turn will learn about self-discipline, how to discipline themselves. That is when their path really becomes clear. If a child is self-disciplined, no one else has to be there to be responsible to how they behave. So just think, if someone needs to be there in charge of your son's or daughter's behavior, do you think it reflects positively back to them? Self-discipline can be many things. It can also lead a child to become well organized, or it can allow a child to be a role model for others, be an exemplary leader for others to follow. As you know, we all deal with life. Life is about the unknown. Every hour, every minute, and every second, something is changing. And sometimes even as adults, we don't know how we must react to a situation. That is what we must teach our children, that they have to learn to live in the moment and identify what is expected of them while keeping their discipline. As your child progresses through the grades, fitting into the school environment, it is a similar way that they will someday fit into the larger society. So how often have you read bad things in the paper or heard something bad on the news? How come the prisons are overpopulated? What has happened to our society? Where had everything gone wrong? Do we allow it to continue? Do we turn a blind eye to whatever is happening right now? Or should we, as responsible adults, understand the gravity of the present situation and what our children will face someday and take a stand to stop it today? Remember, discipline your children so they don't get disciplined by society or worse, by the law. Teach your children to make better decisions, speak good and kind words, be respectful to other communities, to cultures, to religions. Teach them that diversity exists, that it's all right to be different, that there are repercussions when doing wrong, doing the unnecessary, or being vindictive, or being selfish, or being a nuisance, or even being a bully. If they're not taught what I just mentioned, they will be sidelined by their peers, because with time they will lose respect for others and no one will respect them in return. They will not know the repercussions, they will not know what bad things will happen when they promote and inculcate a negative environment. So without self-discipline, they will not be aware how much a capacity that they can to become good, to become a role model, to become a successful adult someday. And if you want to aid them further, enroll them in sports, Every sport has its own rules, its own governing body, and a code of ethics that each player must adhere to. A player who breaks the rules, who conduct themselves badly on and off the field, who retaliates negatively is frowned upon. They may even get disqualified or suspended from the sport. So promote self-discipline, promote good discipline at home, and watch your child blossom, not just with education, but in life. Let your child understand the norms of the society that we all live in. Let them have the best in life, be the best they can be, and be a spark that ignites the lives of others. Thank you.